Hey, KS Services is now running their $59 fall tune-up special. Our team arrives on time and is always professional. Be sure your unit is ready for the cooler temperatures by visiting our website, callks.com today, and schedule your appointment. It's fast and easy. The weather's getting cooler and the days are getting shorter. Don't let the fall weather sneak up on you. Call us today. 205-322-9090, AL certification number 1112.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, November the 5th, the first day of Standard Time once again. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks so much for tuning in. Our satellite image this morning shows we have a few clouds. What is hard to see is the dense fog that is in places across the area, and the watch warning map certainly features a good deal of dense fog advisories across a good deal of Alabama, northwest Florida, and the eastern portion of Mississippi, and it looks like they probably ought to have dense fog advisories in effect for much of Georgia. You'll see that on the surface map here in just a few minutes. Our surface map does feature a front to our northwest that will sag down into the area, but thanks to zonal flow aloft, which we can see in the 500 millibar chart, is certainly going to keep that front from blasting through the area, but we will see some weather the middle of the week. Temperatures across the eastern, about the eastern half of the country are pretty warm, pretty chilly up there in north central part of the United States with single-digit values. The temperatures across central Alabama generally around the 60-degree mark. We range from the mid-50s to the lower 60s, so quite a range. But as you can see, there is a good deal of fog being reported across all of Alabama, Georgia, and the eastern portion of Mississippi and over into the Carolinas, as a matter of fact. And, of course, those dense fog advisories are the areas outlined in gray, and you can see them up there to the west of Chicago. There is a flash flood watch area, the green, extending from just to the east of Chicago along the eastern part of the Great Lakes up into the western and northwestern portions of New York. And the purple and reds that you see over the northwestern United States are winter weather warnings, that's the pink areas, and then winter weather advisories, that's the purple areas, for as much as 7 to 10 inches of snow in higher elevations. Precipitation-wise, we're looking at on the order of 1 to 2 inches across the central and north Alabama for the next week or so, in the next 5 days through Friday morning. And that'll come with the front primarily into the latter part of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think the best chances are going to come the latter half of Wednesday and the first half of Thursday. The WPC folks have a moderate risk for excessive rainfall over parts of Ohio along the central Great Lakes area there, and that's surrounded by a slight risk that goes all the way up into western New York and all the way back into eastern Illinois. SPC has an enhanced risk over much of that same area, or very close to it anyway, stretching from western Ohio all the way back across Indiana into southern Illinois, surrounded by a slight risk that extends all the way from northwestern Pennsylvania all the way back into the eastern part of Missouri. For day 2, they keep thunderstorms ahead of that front, but no outlook for severe. The same for day 3. And looking at the tropics, we do have one area of disturbed weather in the central tropics, the central Atlantic, I should say, but that area is not a threat to us at land. As you can see from the forecast charts, it's going to stay well out in the Atlantic as it continues north and northeasterly. All right, let's get to the 06Z GFS model run this morning. And there's our zonal flow aloft, and at the surface you can see the GFS suggesting much of the rain's going to be along the frontal zone. It does paint a little bit of showers, and while an isolated shower might be possible, I don't think it's worth mentioning in the forecast right now. We retain that zonal flow on Monday aloft, and so the front sags but doesn't really push well into the area, but it does sag into the Tennessee River Valley area on Monday. And with the zonal flow staying that way on Tuesday, it's not going to move much even on Tuesday. GFS suggesting maybe a little bit further push down our way. But the big push comes when on Wednesday we see this nice short wave coming out of the central Rockies, out of basically the Oklahoma Panhandle area. and that will push into the southern plains, and it creates a surface low, generally over the western part of Kansas, and going to be producing some precipitation over Texas and Oklahoma. And we see the chances for rain picking up during the afternoon. That short wave, potent as it is, will move fairly quickly into middle Tennessee. And so that should bring rain chances our area Wednesday afternoon, evening, and into Thursday morning, and maybe the very early afternoon hours of Thursday. Right now, it doesn't look like anything will be severe. The GFS is suggesting Cape values on the order of between about 500 and 600 values, especially over southern Alabama and the eastern part of central Alabama. We'll have to watch that for additional developments should a warm sector actually develop. The upper shortwave moves on quickly. That thing's moving moves off the Carolina coast on Friday, so we clear out nicely on Friday. So Friday should be a nice day and fairly not too cool, but cool. The zonal flow returns momentarily on Saturday, so Saturday is also a good day. But Sunday, we see that short wave developing, coming across the middle Mississippi River Valley, and that once again suggests the possibility of a surface low in the Ohio River Valley with a front trailing down into our area. The big thing about this system is it doesn't look like it's going to have a lot of moisture. So we'll have to be watching for how much moisture can return and whether or not we have any kind of serious rain threat. Looking out into Voodoo country, around the 14th of November, we see a nice northwesterly flow that should keep things fairly cool with a nice trough over the east coast. And then by Friday, the 17th of November, we're under a bit of a ridge, so it looks like a bit of a warm spell, a few days of warm weather, but don't expect them to last really long. By the 20th, that's looking pretty coolish with a very substantial trough over the eastern part of the country. That'll do it for the Weather Extreme video this morning. Again, my thanks to Bill Murray for helping out and filling in so I could take a little time off and cruise the Gulf of Mexico. James Spann should have the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, have an enjoyable day and Godspeed.
Hey, KS Services is now running their $59 fall tune-up special. The weather's getting cooler and the days are getting shorter. Don't let the fall weather sneak up on you. Call us today, 205-322-9090, AL certification number 11120.